All right, welcome everybody to the live stream of the FPV Skydive. My name is Eric. I'm the owner and operator of FPV Experience. If you're not familiar, FPV Experience is designed to take care of schools and bring FPV to the education community. So we're developing curriculums to be released later this summer, and we're going to integrate FPV as a critical component of that. And but we cover a multitude of drones from the DJI Tello to the Mavic to smaller newbie drones, and we'll all be integrated in a single package. So we'll have a 1-semester curriculum coming out this summer, and that'll be quickly followed up by a 3-year program that'll take students all the way from not knowing anything about drones to building, repairing, being able to solder, all the way up to getting certified for Part 107 to be ready to join the workforce once they graduate high school. So that's a little bit about what we do, and this simulator is going to be hopefully a big component of that in the future. So as part of the training, we have kids on the simulators learning how to fly drones. So having an accurate simulator is really, really important to us. And I've been working with ORQA. They've come on board. They wanted to collaborate with us and send us goggles and let us try some of their latest stuff. And that's how I got a hold of FPV Skydive just a little bit early. So I spent about 2 to 3 hours on this, just kind of messing around. I've already given them a little bit of feedback, and I've given them the latest feedback yesterday. So this is the pre-release. So there's a couple things that I'm going to point out that need to be adjusted, but I think it's a really good base, and I'm excited to see what they have moving forward. All right, so a little bit about my PC specs, what I'm running. This is a 4-year-old computer. I have a NVIDIA 970 graphics card. I'm running off of the, I'm not running solid state right now. My Windows or my operating system is running SSD. So I'm just running off of a standard disk drive. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM and Windows 64-bit. And I would say this file is overall really small. So I'm running, I think, 240, 250 frames per second. So there's only 2 maps right now, and we'll take a look at that. But overall, it's a very small file. But I think so far I'm pretty pleased with the graphics and the way how smoothly it runs. So let's jump in here. I'll show you guys the settings. I'm running a X-Lite, the older model, not the Pro. And I'm running a dongle on the computer. So all I've done so far is just plugged it in. And before you had to program the rates and everything, but right now it's ready to go, as you can see. No additional programming. Before you had to come in here and adjust all these numbers and figure this all out, but now it's just plug and play. The rates page, you can adjust that, which I really like. So I just thrown this together real quick, just adjusting to try and get what's comfortable for me. But it has stock settings. I made a recommendation to them to have simple beginner, race, and freestyle settings. So you can just come in here and click, or even a reset after you've adjusted these and messed around with these a little bit. So you can go back to the original stock settings. But I emphasize to them that it's important that people get into this and start adjusting and playing around with it to see what they like and what works best for them. Video, 59 hertz. I mean, the resolution is great, no issues there. And then I got the camera angle is fully adjustable, as well as the camera field of view. This simulator will be compatible with the goggles coming out with FPV Connect. So there you have some great technology, and I believe you can run that through your phone. I don't fully understand it quite yet, but some exciting stuff on the horizon. So let's get going. So like you can see here, there's 3 different maps. The ORQA general is just a big wide open space with a couple obstacles that you can fly through, a couple different track layouts. I think in the future this is going to be great for practice for race day, so I'm sure they'll have some kind of building program where you can move the gates around, you can measure out and get exact distances for gate placement. Construction arena, really like this. We'll take a look at both of these and fly through. So I'll fly around a little bit. Right now it's got a very freestyle feel. A heavier quad seems to float really nice. A little bit about my background. I'm not a freestyle pilot by nature. I fly a lot of whoops, a lot of smaller stuff. I don't fly a lot of big quads or really get into competitive racing, so don't critique my flying too much. It's just to give you guys an overview of the sim. Yeah, you can see it's got a lot of good float here, so I think it'd be really good for practicing your freestyle stuff. So I'll run the track. Again, expecting to crash quite a bit, but I'll give you guys a good overview of the way it flies. I like the ghost feature. That's really, really nice. After you've completed your fastest lap, you can compete against yourself. Ah! Okay. Alright, and I'm stuck. I really like the markers that they've incorporated into the gates. You can see it from anywhere in the map, any angle. It makes it really nice to track the gates, where you got to go next. So the one thing that I don't like about the sim, and I brought it to their attention, was even at idle, you don't really feel like you're at idle power. There's some still left in there, and so you're getting a little bit of a float. It used to be a lot worse, and this latest flight model is 10 times better than what it was, but there's still just a little bit there that makes it hard. It's like it's still producing thrust even though you're idle. So I asked them to turn that down a little bit, and then I think we're almost there, is having a realistic feel. And at first I didn't really notice. I was like, oh, you know, it's... Nope. At first I was like, you know, it's fine. I didn't really notice it too much. But as I started playing more and more for an hour or two, then I was like, okay, it became very apparent that lines weren't tight and you're just getting that float. Alright, so that's the construction. I like it because you can go inside the buildings, you can cruise around, you can do, you know, dives. It's a really, really fun map. It's fun to just mess around a little bit. Some of the other tracks, this is probably the best track, I think, so far. I mean, they had 4 of them available. But I think this is the best one to kind of give you a good overview of what's in the track. I mean, even just look at that detail. Alright, so let's go on to the next map. Give a quick overfly. This one's cool. It's got a couple tunnels or caves that you can fly through. Lots of different variety of things to shoot for, different keyholes, fun canyon that you can fly through. See what I mean by when you hit idle, it just slowly descends. That's idle right there. But I think they're going to fix that before the May 1st release. So we'll run this track, see what you guys think. Run a couple laps, and then we'll go on from here. Actually, this isn't the track that I want. Hold on. Yeah, this is what I want. Alright, so that's a good overview. I'll head down to the cave down here so you guys can see that. Here's another one. This is part of the track there, and then there's another cave down this way. Alright, so that's it. That's the cave track. And this is that track builder type scenario where I think it'll be beneficial. Right now you can't build anything. It's just is what it is. There's a few different tracks you can choose from. But I think it'll be good practice. Right now, as far as quads availability, there's only one that you can play with. I talked to them and they said that more quads are expected, or drones are expected in, I think they said a month to a month and a half. They're working with a few different well-known companies to bring that stuff into the game. So I'm excited to see what they develop. And I think it's just going to branch out from there. Right now as well, there's no live feature. They also said that's going to be coming out, so expect that in the future as they go to compete against some of the other simulators that are available. That's a quick overview, guys. That's what the sim is as of right now. Expect this to continue to develop, more drones to come out, and some great new features that are coming out as well. Overall impression, I think it's good. I think it's about 90% there. I'm excited to see the adjustments that they do before it is released, or at least shortly after release. I think it's going to have that feel and avoid that float. I played Liftoff earlier this weekend, and I think that is another great sim. I haven't played Velocidrone, I'll admit that, but the Liftoff has some of that float as well that I don't like. So for me, that's important to get rid of.